Oh, hey, didn't see that. Hey, Mr. K. So today I'll be doing my piece for VCA Music, and I'll be talking about the creative decisions I've made and all the interpretation I've done. I'm doing Jimi Hendrix all on the Watchtower. Start with my amp. I'm using, rather than a clean channel, I'll be using a distorted channel. This is based off a Marshall stack, similar to the one Jimi Hendrix would have used. So it's got a fair bit of distortion on it. I'm also got my guitar in the the bridge pickup rather than the neck one, so it's I've got my guitar fully trebled out, so here's the difference. I've also got a heavy top string on my guitar, which I try to hit in the chords to fatten them out a bit, make them sound a lot fatter. And I've got light bottom strings to hammer on and pull off easy and bend. So I'll start now. It starts off with some chords. This is how it's written on the actual notes. So. But when I play it, I put some slides in, and just to make it sound a bit smoother and less less disjointed. So. Then it goes into the first solo. I play it similar to as written. I put a few more slides in, so and I also do a bit more tremolo or vibrato, whatever you want to call it. Then after that, so there's the vibrato on, and then the slides between. So that's it, done that. Then I go into the chords for the verse / chorus, or however we want to word it. As written, it should be. But I play it with a 7th chord to start off with, and I hammer onto the minor rather than just a minor. So rather than which I think sounds pretty funky, and it gives a more blues feel coming from a minor 7. Going into the minor, so that's one decision I've made. Also, rather than just doing long notes, it sounds a lot more upbeat and a lot fuller. If I do. I've got to be careful not to overfill it too much, because I don't want to overcrowd Campbell when he's singing. So I go into bridge and neck pickup on my guitar. So it's and I try to emphasize the gaps in between them. So. To sort of make it a bit more spaced out and but still sound full, because there's the gap there that fills up the music that's not. And then after that I go into my second solo, switch back to bridge pickup so I get more treble. And it sounds like this. So in that I try to use what's called conservative picking, so rather than always going up or down or always going in one direction, I go in the direction that's next needed to be. So that's particularly for the fast bit at the end, so I'm picking down when I want to go down and up when I want to go up, so fairly simple. And also I try to use hammer-ons and slides as much as I can to save picking. So. So that saves me a lot of time and lets me go faster in that solo. I also do a bit more vibratos in the first half, just to add interest or because I can. So that's how I've changed that. Then I go back into the chords. I don't change the pickups there because by then the song's picking up a bit more and it sounds fine like that. Then I go into the last solo. It's in D flat pentatonic or D flat minor, so minor pentatonic. I add blues notes in. So. I also chuck in a few chromatic scale chords or major scale chords, notes, because that's something Jimmy does a lot of, using more major scale than just pentatonic. So I do a little bit of that as much as I can. I do it conservatively because I'm not that good at soloing on the major scale. But so I add a few of that in an improvised one, so I'll play a little bit of a solo. In that one, I tried to change a few passing notes in the major scale. I also did a part where I'm just hammering on. That's mainly just for aesthetics. It also, in his original solo, in the middle one, in the third solo, he does a part where he does it with a slide, and that's my imitation of that because I don't have a slide and my action's way too low to use a slide. So instead I did that. I think it's pretty cool. Also did a that's based off of like the Chuck Berry, really famous Chuck Berry solos where he does that because that's just come out of that period and into Jimi Hendrix period, so he does a lot of that in his music. Then I go back into the chords for the final proper verse. In this I do a lot of because by then the music's picking up and Campbell's really going for it when he's singing it. Oh, another thing is with the band, when I'm playing the hammer-on part, the band quietens down a little bit to let that be heard, which is really cool of them. And then after that I go back into the I try to add those flockers in between. A, because they sound really cool coming out of this, and B, because it really feels like the sound like it has a lot more excitement, it's faster, it's pushing the beat a lot more, and Campbell's really going for it in this part of the song, and so that sounds really cool, and I'm not invading him as much when he's going softer. And then I go back into, after the chords, I go into a solo that I wrote rather than improvised. It goes. I'm going up the major scale, so just from the E flat up. So just playing 4 notes on each 4 hits on each note. It adds excitement as it builds up, and it's really good building up scale. So that's just all that one is, and then I just do a little lick at the end. The lick changes depending on how I'm feeling going with that. And then at the end of the song, I just play the chords once more, and Campbell sings all along the Watchtower, but he holds notes. And when he's ending, we just end on the 7th chord, or the minor 7 rather than the minor. So, and then we end there. Or what I want to happen, but Bevan's not the biggest fan of it. I want Bevan to drum solo it out because that sounds awesome. But yeah, that's all my decisions for